Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you with Forecaster in this afternoon. We do have some tornado warnings. This is going to be an active afternoon of severe weather. Isaac might be coming in with us later this afternoon. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to you, Ian.
Did we just get a new tornado warning on that?
Let me check. Let me turn things over to you first.
Thunderstorm warned right now. Right now, we currently have 3 active tornado warnings. One, and I'm watching. County. It just went through Colby. It's not confirmed, but you look at the rotation on this.
Let me zoom into that.
It's still got quite a bit. It's still got quite a bit of rotation with it, but the storm to the northeast of that one, near the Pine River and near Pine River and Muriel, that storm there, once had 2 separate situations on it. Right now, it just says radar indicated rotation. And if you scroll down to the cell down there by south of Sparta, this over the past 20-30 minutes, it's for Low Cross and Monroe County. You know, a real low, don't see it. In the meantime, we got several other cells that are popping up that could get warnings on them any minute, but for now, we need to focus on these 2 tornado warnings.
We got that one tornado warning. Just got a report coming in up here of one small tree and Highway JH. So we have some trees small trees are down. So don't know it was
that could tornado also be from straight line winds too.
Yeah, that's what we got. So tornado warning continues to 1:30. At 1:09, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was 10 miles south of Dunch, Corinth, or 11 miles northwest of Lengo, Moon East around 50. So what to expect? Tornado and quarter-size hail. So if this is a radar indicated tornado, so we don't have, that doesn't mean we have one on the ground yet. And that's what these both are. Let me check and see if there's any debris aloft quite yet. And looks like we don't have any debris. Looks like we lost Ian. So let me try to get him back in. Second here.
Sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, that tornado warning, we don't really have no debris yet, do we, Ian?
We're just a little bit concerned about it.
Alright, back out a little bit.
Weather Service is concerned about it. That's why they have these tornado warnings out, just in case. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So we still got the tornado wind of 145. That's a radar indicated tornado, and also we got the severe thunderstorm warning over here, and that runs through about in
Alright,
effect to
down to
130. What'd you say?
that one's just for that's for Marathon, Portage, and Portage counties. That one there in particular. Let me pull up the hail indicator.
I got hail right over here. I could pull up. Sorry, the audio's choppy, guys. It's just, I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah, that still looks like some very large hail with some of these sails. But the text is only showing quarter size, so that's still enough to cause some problems.
It's showing pretty high liquids on row. It's definitely tapping into some colder air. It's a very tall storm.
Okay. Somebody said it's getting noisy in Wisconsin. I'm sure it is, because the thunder and lightning is probably being loud.
It's getting into those. But for sure, it's tapping into them polar colors.
Yeah, that's what it's doing.
It's he's definitely got. Sure, it's not just wind. There's definitely some hail in these storms too.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's definitely some very large hail. Let me zoom into Sparta once again, and you can see
Sparta storm. Sparta storm doesn't look nearly as intense as it did before. But
no, it looked intense at first. But
it's just struggling.
Well, that's one good thing, probably. So
this one here, down in the county of Marathon County, the storm I'm watching there really needs to be eyed, because I'm starting to see on radar. I can see where the rear inflow is starting to accelerate towards the storm, and now you're starting to get a more definable hook with it than before. Do you notice that? The inflow, the winds on this, it's got 73 knot inflow. It's got like 1 mile per hour outflow. So it's a definite rotation.
Hold on a second.
It's a definite rotation. There's no.
I'm back. You still there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Alright, anything has changed? Anything has changed?
Not yet, but I think soon it will be.
Okay. Yeah, the tornado warning goes into effect into 1:30. That expired in a few minutes. I think both of these will expire one at 1:45. So, yeah, just
I
new
don't think
severe
that
thunderstorm.
I think this one will get attention.
Yeah, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning in place right now. Portage County and north central Wisconsin, Morganton County and central Wisconsin, Wapello County in north central Wisconsin, Shiloh County in north central Wisconsin to 2:15. At 1:23, a severe thunderstorm was located near Wrightburg, or 21 miles north of Stevens Point, moving at 50 miles an hour. What expect 60 miles of wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. So, this storm looks like more of a hail producer than any rotation. What do you think, Ian? It looks like we lost Ian again. So, anyway, this storm looks like it could have some hail with it. So definitely this storm could produce a some very large hail. So we'll check in with our hail, and it looks very large, 1.25. I mean, that is some very large hail with that storm. So definitely we're going to have to watch that really closely. Just reading in the chat room. Just a second. So tornado warnings will expire just in a few seconds, and we'll see what actually happens with this. Still got that severe thunderstorm warning about 2 p.m. for Lincoln and central Wisconsin, north central. And see, these storms are just mainly hail producers at the time. We will have to watch that. That's the tornado warning in process here. But yeah, doesn't really have no sheared and no debris. Well, there's a little blue. We'll have to watch that there. That could be a sign of something there. So tornado warning continues to about 145. I don't know if that's a locked, but this storm over here by Norwalk area, that storm is capable of producing damage to winds. Also, it's giving me almost 2 inches of hail in diameter. That's what the problem is. That is a sign that we need to producing some very large hail. So definitely there could be a tornado possible with this. Sometimes you get rotation. I mean, we want to remain on the air just in case things happen. But like I said, we have a tornado warning that goes through 145. And checking in with very large hail. Echo tops are just going to be in the medium, but these severe thunderstorm warnings over here are in the red, so that's pretty high. These storms are high in the atmosphere, and they could produce some very strong winds. Switch back. That's probably just a regular rain showers and pop in. The tornado watch goes through 8 p.m. tonight. So far, we only had 1 or 2 tornado warnings have been issued. That's one thing that we have. But I'm going to wait and see. We want to put the microphone on mute for a little bit. If we do see another tornado warning, we will break right back in, or anything serious. We want to keep the thing up because I don't have to pop on. I'm Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you. We will continue to keep watching. Good afternoon, this is Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you, back with you in the Breaking Weather Center. We just have another tornado warning has just been issued, so we'll remain on the air with you as long as we kind of have tornado warnings. And like I said, we want to leave the stream up today, just in case, you know, we start getting more storms and stuff. Second here. So we're going to leave the stream up. So tornado warning right now has got put in place, so we'll zoom in again. And this will run in effect into around 2 p.m. No, 2:30 for North Central Horn County and Central Wisconsin into around 2:30. At 1:39, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was 14 miles south of Mashfield or 19 miles southwest of Wasson, moving at 35. So hazards, tornado and quarter-size hail. So this is another one. Radar indicated tornado. We do not have one on the ground reported quite yet. But, you know, these could be rain wrap or you're not going to see it. So I would advise you take cover. And I do see this thing is trying to tie it up right there. We definitely going to have to watch that. Because that is, the other tornado warning has just expired, but we got the other one in place. So you definitely want to be in your tornado safe spot on the device. If you have a safe room to go to, that's the place I want you to be at. I mean, ground floor, away from all the windows. Put many walls between you as possible. This is a tornado warning that runs through 2:30 this afternoon. And, so we have the tornado warning runs through about 2:30. Let me check for hail. And just looking, there could be a little bit of hail with this, but maybe size of quarters. Now checking through here and see if this is on the ground, like Ian's saying. Don't really see anything on the ground on the CC thing, but that doesn't mean it could go on the ground anytime. These storms could just actually quickly spin up. So tornado warning goes for 2:30, and we'll switch back here. We have only one report of a small tree. That's been it so far, but that doesn't mean once these storms get into a line they could have more wind damage. So that goes, that one's getting ready to expire, that one's getting ready to expire over here. I mean, we got a severe thunderstorm warning that runs through 2:15. That main threat is going to be some damage and straight line winds. We also had one report coming in of another report of a 1-inch limb broken down and broken off. So we're just getting trees coming down. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, that looks very tight. I'll take a look at that in just a second, Ian. Because these storms have just been different. So we're continuing to track this line of this little cluster of storm, these streak cells. But the main risk is just these storms are not producing nothing right now. But the tornado warning right over here, and that goes through about 2:30. And so far, I don't see any debris ball. So that would help really good. And this other severe thunderstorm warning down here right goes through around 2:45 for Joneston County, Central Wisconsin, and Moore County in Central Wisconsin. At 1:40, severe thunderstorm was located southwest of Toppleton moving on 25. So 60 miles of wind gusts and half dollar size hail. So that's another thing. We could get hail of the size of half dollars. Let's see what Ian said here. New scan. He said tornado vortex in that system, because once we start getting vortex, that's just never good up there. Let me take a look at that once again, and you can see. Though I'm gonna have to get way far from the radar, but I can see that's a little tight. Alright, we just got another tornado warning right now, so things are kicking in gear, so looks like we'll be staying with you for just a little longer now. Tornado warning goes in effect in 2. Let me read this text here. Tornado warning for north central Joneston County and central Wisconsin, south central Moore County, and central Wisconsin to 2:30. At 1:48, just about a few minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 9 miles southwest of Trumpalupa, moving moving east at 30 miles an hour. Hazardous tornado and half dollar size hail. So, this storm is still. This includes Interstate 90/4 between miles mark 47 and 61. This includes Interstate 90 in Wisconsin between miles mark 31 and 44. So this is a tornado warning. Definitely want to take cover now. This is a time to go to the lowest floor of the building. Make sure you put many walls between you as possible. And we'll put in velocity. We'll add in our next scan. And you could just see red next to green earlier. That's gate to gate sheared. Winds coming in and winds coming out. That's where you get the rotation all the time. And we just continue to get these tornado warnings, and it's going to be a long afternoon. So just while we're continuing to be with us. So that goes through about 2:30. So we got a little while on that. So we'll back out. Zoom in one more time. I'm going to take a look at something else. This is our tool that we see we have any debris with this. So this is important, and we don't, because I just don't think debris is going to be. And so far, I've been working with this event. We only have a few reports of just hail and a few trees down. If this keeps it up, that'll be some good news. But I think things will change. Switch back. And you can see we only have one report. The fire department reported 1-inch hail. That's over there by Sparta up here in Wisconsin. That's where we have to watch. The little strong inflow right there. Now I can see it. Very tight rotation, folks. There could be a tornado developing with the storm. So hold on a second. I'm going to take a picture and just send this to my chat. Just a second here. Alright, and that is very tight rotation, folks. That is a tight couplet. We could be seeing a tornado on the ground right there. And that's why the Weather Service went with a tornado warning, because this thing here is very tight. Let me check for hail and let that load up. And you can see very large hail with the storm. We can see probably almost hail 1.5. That'd be up to ping pong. If you're near this tornado warning, now's the time to seek shelter. Let's see what we got here. Thank you for posting these live feeds. Very helpful. You're welcome. So let's zoom in here, check to see if we have any debris. Yeah, there could be a debris ball right there too, folks. We could be seeing debris with this storm. This is very tight rotation. Let me try to take another photo. This is really helping out here. And somebody said this tornado could be on the ground. We could be having a serious situation, folks, with this tornado trying to be on the ground. Let me. And here's another scan I got here. Just a second here. Can you join StreamYard? Isaac. So like I said, if you're in this tornado warning now, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. This looks like a sign that a debris ball with the storm. That is a very strong sign of a debris ball, folks. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. This is a serious situation. Once we get that debris ball, that is a tornado right there. So you definitely need to be taking cover immediately. Get to the lowest floor of the building. Put many walls between you as possible now. This is a tornado warning, and that does look like a debris ball. I just looked at it right there. That is a debris ball. Let me check it. And that is very tight. That is at very tight. Anytime you get red next to green, that is very tight rotation there. That could be a tornado on the ground right now. And I'm trying to get eyes at Schaff whipping right now. This is a tornado. Could be developing. And let me see. And I was right. We have a tornado at 152. A confirmed tornado is 9 miles south of Tompkins, moving at 30 miles an hour. Hazardous. Damaging tornado and half dollar size hail. Flying debris will be deadly if you caught out shelter. So you're in these communities, and you include Interstate 90 and 90/94 between miles marked 47 and 62. This includes Interstate 90 in Wisconsin in between miles marked. Let's see here where we're at. Miles marked 31 and 44. Take cover now. Report of a tornado on the ground. This is a tornado on the ground now. This is the tornado on the ground. You need to be shaking shelter now. You need to get to the basement if you have one. Ground floor. I always tell kids to go take cover in the lowest floor. Do not go out there and take any photos of this. This is on the ground, and this could be rain wrapped. This is a tornado on the ground right now, folks. Because I can tell you why. We got that debris ball right there. It's starting to, anytime you get that debris ball like that dark color, that's indicative of a tornado on the ground. So I'll be right back. All right, Isaac, we got a tornado on the ground right now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Um, yeah,
I've
my
been dealing
internet's
with this for the last couple. I've been dealing with this in the last couple minutes.
all right. My frames here.
Can you hear
This
me?
thing is on the ground. Well pronounced hook with it. Well pronounced outbound in 62. I am indicating at least 90 to 100 miles per hour
Wow.
wind, seeing estimated on radar. Again, this is just some of the velocity data here, the base velocity here. Trying to get a
Yeah, folks, if you're in this tornado warning, you need to be into your tornado safe spot immediately. This is a tornado on the ground, and I just seen it, folks. I already seen the debris ball on radar, so you need to be into a safe room, right, Isaac? That's what they need to be at, right?
this thing.
You still there?
Okay. We have. It's not as well pronounced.
Can you hear me now? Isaac, you there? Looks like we lost him. Isaac, can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, sorry. Isaac, this is
Point
tightened up significant, really bad.
whether it's greater. Yep.
Folks,
Yeah,
you need to be
the
taking
low
cover
level
immediately. This
here.
is a serious
Yeah,
situation.
we do want to. I do want to kind of point out where this is in relation to where a lot of folks are having questions of the Chicago area, and lots of folks may be joining us from the southern sections of Wisconsin as well. So again, so for areas around Toma, Wisconsin, this is an area between. So this is northwest of Madison, northwest of the Dells, is just a well-pronounced hook with this and a well-honorable debris signature area, distinct thunderstorm inflow with that. New velocity scan with us is indicating here.
Ian said this was a wedge.
I have still 27 outbounds. I think the inbounds rather, I should say, have it looks like they have increased to 60 with that. So still at least estimating at least 90 mile per hour clear associated with that.
That is
so
just very strong,
well
Isaac, and they still got that debris ball right there.
And like straight in Clinton here, or Clifton, I should say. So again, this is this area in question here. It's recreation out here, and inevitably this would be the north end of town for folks around Norwalk and Wilton. So that's where we have indicated tornado debris being lofted to an altitude where the radar can indicate. And we've been getting various spot reports, wind damage at this point. And
so I'm gonna adjust this too. If you live in that area, and that where the debris ball's at, you need to take cover immediately.
Yes, and I'm going to point out for folks in south central Wisconsin, again, we are seeing a lot of these supercells form out of an area with, again, we've had an area of thunderstorm outflow that enhances lifts and dynamics, and given the dry air that formed behind the initial cluster of storms that moved through Illinois earlier in the morning, that is going to couple in with much warmer air that's going to be that is going to interact with the ground, get unstable bound, really help this activity to grow upscale, and eventually this will have again kind of a clustered supercellular mode be a dominant concern initially. And this is an area across central, western, central, potentially into southern Wisconsin as well. This is a particular area where they have they have issued a 10% area on the day one outlook for the Storm Prediction Center, indicating there is a high potential for these storms to become tornadic, because again we've seen that uptick in SRH, the storm relative helicity levels, and again there is a lot of surface heating. The temperatures dew point is moving into that primed environment.
Yeah, and there is another chance tomorrow too.
For tornado, and there is likely that potential for there is that potential for and there is that small possibility of seeing a stronger tornado, but a lot of these tornadoes are going to be between EF0 to EF2 within that
but that's
range.
Still caused enough damage
if we do see them. Yeah, and again, I would expect, again, the tornado risk will be the biggest concern initially, and then also outside the threat of a tornado, you may experience with some of these stronger updrafts, potentially hail, quarter to ping pong ball size being the dominant concern, maybe some isolated 2-inch hail initially with the much.
Yeah, I just read the tornado text, Isaac. We got a new something new at 2:05. A confirmed tornado is located at 2:05. It's located 9 miles south of Tompkins, moving at 30 miles. But damaging tornado. But here's the thing: weather spotters did confirm 2 tornadoes, 2 miles northeast of Norwalk, around 154. So that was not too long ago. So, and this still looks very tight, Isaac. This tornado warning still looks very tight. National Weather Service just issued another severe thunderstorm warning, Isaac.
Here, so we got much stronger inflow. Again, really more a well-pronounced inflow signature there. So this is definitely starting to cycle back up, really starting to tighten up on the
because
indication.
We still got that debris ball right there again.
Yep, this is bearing right down. This is bearing down on the Clinton, the Clifton area. So I'm going to kind of point out that the tornado is likely on top of Clifton with this scan here, and the scan's 2 to 3 minutes old at this point. And with the new scans, I would not be surprised to find a little bit more pronounced.
I was going to pass you some more information, Isaac, that it's not really in this area, but we just had a semi blown over in Ohio, Indiana, over there in Indiana. We just had a semi blew over.
Yeah, that is from the. We've been following with that. Yes, down to again, some of those north-south roads, some of those high-profile vehicles, some of these winds have occurred over a long duration, and over kind of a broad region here. So local storm reports of wind damage being this line has actually originated out of eastern Iowa.
Well, we call this a derecho.
Almost 300 miles, but they have not classified it as a derecho at this point because again, there's been a concentrated area of there has been a concentrated area of more wind damage associated with that line, but again. Looks like some of this is occurring as a thunderstorm outflow, maybe some lower end severe gusts still being observed, but I don't know if we've had that numerous and too many numerous reports of hurricane force gusts with this. But again, I will speculate and infer that we've had maybe some embedded downburst gusts, maybe a couple of downburst associated with that. We've had embedded gusts potentially nearing 100 miles per hour with that. But again, it was very localized. And again, that's just the velocities that really substantial low-level flow. And if this has much higher, that has a good.
Yeah, we just have
that line is expected to.
New tornado warning. We got a few new tornado warnings, and I think we're not in good shape. This is a new tornado warning
just to the north of Green Bay at this point.
This tornado is another one. It's a damaging tornado again.
Yeah, well pronounced inflow. One of them is an observed status. I'm aware. I would assume it's the one. I'm trying to get a better. I think I'm going to go back to La Crosse. Also, an area of strong rotation there south of Wausau towards the community of Stratford. This one is law enforcement confirming a tornado near the community of Marshfield, and this is going to be this is going to be impacting Marathon. Rotation well pronounced. Oh wow, this is really intense hook signature
Yeah, folks, this is getting ready to be another serious situation again, so you got to take these storms very seriously. I mean, this is like Isaac's saying, these storms are very tight rotation, and this is a tornado warning that goes through 3 o'clock at 2:09. A confirmed tornado is located near Mashfield, or 26 miles northeast of Nielsenville, moving at 35 miles an hour. Hazards, damage and tornado with this storm. So, like I said, if you live in the warning, take cover immediately. This storm is starting to tide up, Isaac. This is really tight. Once again, I mean, that yellow spot, that could be another debris signature, right?
Yep. Information on that. Yeah, again, a hook that is, still confirmed. This is weather spotters confirming a large tornado at 2:08. This is about 2 miles to the west of Clifton. And again, the community of Clifton likely significantly impacted. This is pretty much tracked right over Clifton proper.
Yeah. If you're in that area, you need to be taking cover immediately. We have a large tornado.
Now I'm indicating some. We've got a debris signature here.
Yep. We're starting to get another debris signature. You got to take cover immediately, folks. This storm really has a potentially of dropping having debris a lot. You want to take cover in the basement if you have one, the ground floor. I mean, do not go out there and take any photos of this. This is a dangerous situation, right, Isaac?
Yeah. And still indicating, new scan here on the dual pulse. We do have a indication of debris with this being lofted. Again, this was right on top of Clifton, and I do want to kind of clarify again. This whole region of thunderstorms that they are monitoring here, the ongoing watch here. Again, multiple supercells over central Wisconsin, pretty much along the southwest, the central, that particular corridor. It is interacting with, again, there's a lot of boundary layer heating. It's gonna and very strong winds here, deep layer. Again, we got what we're indicating here is a well pronounced mid-level jet that really helps, help storms grow upscale, and that's definitely fine for supercells being an initial concern there. That'll help, and again, these storms will have really strong updrafts initially. So what we're expecting here, and also, again, what we're indicating here is a lot of turning with height in the low levels of the atmosphere. And again, this is really strong low-level winds too. Again, that really helps contribute to that shear. And again, you're seeing winds. You could be seeing a little bit more southerly flow closer to the ground, but you're seeing much stronger winds within a kilometer off the ground. That's essentially what we consider helicity, directional wind shear.
This is a typically dangerous situation, Isaac.
They have been monitoring that supercell in Monroe County. We've been following that. It's produced a really strong low-level rotation, and again, we've been following that. It had a well-pronounced debris signature for quite some time, probably the past 15 to 20 minutes at the very least. Again, the severe wind threat will also increase over much of this general region because again, what we're likely going to see as storms grow upscale, that'll help your downburst potential. Again, you'll see some really strong winds preclude all of this as well. Again, usually you're going to get a better radar perspective with this. Again, well pronounced hook with that. And with all these other cells that I'm seeing here on radar, especially that strong one that's going to be approaching Stevens Point in Wisconsin Rapids. Again, we are indicating some very strong winds with that. Again, looks like
Isaac, I don't mean to interrupt you. Isaac, I don't even mean to interrupt you, but we have a large and extremely dangerous tornado right now. All right, let me read this to you. At 2:13, a confirmed and extremely large and... I'll read it to you. At 2:13, a confirmed and large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 7 miles west of New Liberty, or 11 miles southeast of Topiston, moving east at 35 miles an hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover immediately. I mean, this is a tornado back. So take cover. I mean, this is a storm that we've been watching. We have a report of a tornado reported outgoing, and so we definitely, these people need to be taking cover, Isaac, right?
Yeah. Again, that is in an area where there's a well-pronounced inflow notch with that, a well-pronounced hook with a again, there's a tight gradient there on the radar. There's this well-pronounced inflow signature. I wish I could have a way to kind of share this from my perspective here, but again, that is a really tight inflow signature that's right now between Bulkfield and New Lisbon along Interstate. This will be along Interstate 9094. And I'm going to point out that, this should be right now crossing the interstate. The debris signature is a little bit less pronounced, but spotter's perspective from several minutes ago, from about 2:08, that would be about within the past 10 minutes, pretty much still. Against law enforcement, spotters have still indicated this thing to be on the ground, and presumably, again, still some very tight rotation associated with it. I am indicating at least still 80 to 90 mile per hour.
Wow.
So
this tornado text is a particularly dangerous situation. You need to take cover now, folks. Do not wait on the tornado. I don't want anybody going out there and taking any photos of this right now. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover immediately.
They just issued a new warning here. This is for Juneau and Adams counties, also Monroe County. They are still as of 2:19, they are still saying confirmed large and extremely dangerous. This is around the New Lisbon area. Again, this is just to the northwest of New Lisbon, probably closer to New Lisbon proper. Again, a large tornado has been reported near Clifton. Again, this is probably a report from earlier, but latest indications there by spotters. And again, this has been on the ground for again, we've been following this. That rotation has really tightened up. Still a well-pronounced inflow notch.
Yes.
And a really tight gradient there on velocities. It's still estimating winds near 80 to 90 miles per hour with that.
Yeah.
And maybe even higher closer to the ground. So again, be on alert. Again, this is going to be approaching New Lisbon within the next couple of minutes. Again, this is tracking a little.
Yeah, Isaac, that is very tight rotation there again.
The hook is going to be approaching, again, Interstate 94, Interstate 9094. This is pretty much over the north part of town in New Lisbon. If you live in New Lisbon,
you need to seek shelter immediately. Take cover immediately. I don't want you to go out there and taking photos. This is a large and extremely dangerous tornado. you need to be in a safe room, a basement. Make sure you have a helmet on top of your head. Protect yourself for flying debris because this is a tornado that could hurt you. So, I mean, Isaac, this is something that we do not really want to see. That's the problem.
Yeah, and once again, New Lisbon, also areas in the vicinity. I do want to kind of point out, again, we've been just within the past couple of minutes, relatively recently, the indications were this was definitely on the ground with large debris. I just judging by the CC drop.
Me too.
We've been following this in the strong low-level rotation. It's been it's again we've been tracking well back towards the La Crosse area in South of Toma. Again, the rotation has definitely picked up. Now I'm seeing a new scan here, some stronger. Okay, that's not net bounds, but a new signature here. Looks like we have a little bit of a reflectivity don't hole with this. Kind of clarify where we're at. This is indication of debris. That is.
Yeah, I just got a text from Ian. We have a new tornado warning into 3:15, and that's what the text shows. I guess that's. Are you seeing that, or is that an Owen?
Yeah, this is onto the old one. We've had that indication a little bit ago. Okay.
Ian just sent me another text and said it's on the ground.
Yep, that's already been.
I just got a new marker, Isaac, just came into the computer. That's still a pretty decent inflow notch. That is very tight rotation there, folks. If you're living in this pink polygon, this is a typically dangerous situation. You want to be in a basement if you have one. Ground floor. You don't want to go outside. I don't want anybody on the road now. This is where people get hurt, Isaac, when these type of situations. You want to evacuate that mobile home. This tornado can flip that mobile home over, Isaac. Am I correct?
Yeah, and again, my concerns immediately are, again, there's a lot of recreation in these particular regions. The Toma, New Lisbon area, this is kind of close to a lot of recreational areas that are close to the Wisconsin Dells region.
Yeah, and I'm concerned. Here's another thing I'm concerned about. People are out there fishing. You do not want to be on a boat today when this tornado warning's happening.
Yeah, and once again, normally there's a lot of people that aren't within close proximity to your local. Again, you're especially folks in these rural areas, as in less population. There's lots of tourism, and there's lots of people camping too. Potentially, so I would also, again, with all these recreational areas, you've got to have some kind of way to pay attention
you just
to
can't
changing conditions.
Yeah, you do not want to be in a tent in this tornado warning. And Isaac, speak of that, we just have another tornado warning to tell you about, and we have a large and extremely dangerous tornado again, north central. Adams County in central Wisconsin, eastern Moore County in central Wisconsin, and Junin County in central Wisconsin.
The one we've already reported.
All right, I'll read it. At 2:19, a confirmed and largely extremely dangerous tornado was near New Liberty, and moving northeast around 35 miles an hour. So this is the typically dangerous situation. Take cover immediately. Right now. Well, I'll pull up. See, that is tight, Isaac. That is very tight, gate-to-gate sheared there. That's very tight rotation. So you want to be in your tornado-safe spot now.
Yeah, and I'm going to point out again that inflow signature and everything on my radar scan, it's still well pronounced. Latest indication there, reflectivity, little donut hole signature. and that is still a visual indication there could be debris with that, and generally that being well pronounced. Again, north of the New Lisbon area, likely some of the outer neighborhoods, outskirts, maybe commercial districts, closer to the interstate being impacted. And I'm going to once again kind of report on the broad scale situation. We've had another tornado report near the community of this would be near the community of Pittsfield or the town of Pulaski, Wisconsin. We've had a confirmed tornado there. We're going to be monitoring the developments out of that area. This would be just north of Green. We have a severe warning cell now tracking through that area with the history of a tornado and some significant wind damage potentially through that area. 3-inch tree limbs broken and power poles. That's the case we're getting from that. Again, the more well pronounced soup cells, with the strong mesocyclone. Again, we've been following the strongest cell here for quite some time. Look again. This is the New Lisbon area. The GBR radar, KGRB. I'm not getting as good of an indication of rotation one. I think it. Yeah, this is moving the Milwaukee Sullivan County warning area. Okay, this has a better handle of that rotation with it. Better, we have radar estimate. This radar info indicating outbound maxes near 60. Yeah, that's rather inbound 60 and outbound. Yeah, still some big winds.
Yeah, that is very tight, Isaac. That is still very tight.
Better handle it. Well, yeah. And again, these storms are interacting with some very strong heating of the mixed layer, and again, the dew points and temperatures are still prime in this general region. Again, lots of wind shear out ahead of this. Again, this is an area where we're expecting more developments here over in the near term. So any cell will anytime the cap erodes, when the cap breaks, storms can
this
pop
what happens
up in just one moment. It can become tornado warned in a matter of an hour, or maybe less. So it may be slightly overcast, like well ahead of that. But then right now, I think it may be sunny in a particular region, and that gives us an opportunity to see those temperatures rise back in the back well into the 80s. Trying to see.
Yeah, we just had a report of a 40 miles of gusts.
Yeah. Okay, Wisconsin surface odds.
Yeah, this still looks tight. I mean, this is a tornado warning that goes through 315, and the tracks are taking it to a lot of places. So, I mean, this is still a tight circulation right over here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do want to kind of report on the surface observations. There is a corridor. So out well ahead of these, the air temperatures are in the 80s. There is a corridor where the temperatures are in the upper 80s. That's the apparent temperature. Okay. Some areas are experiencing heat indices well into the 90s, presumably dew points well in the 60s and low 70s at the surface here. I'm gonna get the plot here. So yeah, the temperatures are out ahead of this are, the dew points are actually in the upper 70s. There's a corridor, in the small corridor, I would say along the Wisconsin River, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's some dew points in the 80s, and that has been the case yesterday in some spots across Illinois and Wisconsin, even yesterday. And and there's that corridor. In that small corridor, the temperatures are in the low 90s. The actual air temperatures, I should say. So the air temperatures, we're getting to that convective temperature, and I think that's where the tapping inversion, if there is one, uh, will end up breaking rather soon. So again, this is also a concern, and this also Dane County Airport. We're seeing a 92-degree temperature with a dew point of 77. It looks like,
Mm-hmm.
and again, like I said, dew points in the 70s and the low 80s. That ain't a concern, and we do expect some of it to develop um, well into more central and further into southern Wisconsin as well. So heads up for folks again for areas. I would say Madison definitely over the near term. Definitely would want to keep a close eye on that, especially other areas along the 90-94 corridor. It could be a matter of an hour or two before this.
Yeah, and we do have a slight
Before the
risk
worst. So
again tomorrow of severe weather.
yeah, we've been following these continued developments for a while, um, and I would expect tomorrow to be a similar case. But again, really, what's grabbing my attention about tomorrow's outlook would be the added wind probabilities. Um, so again, um, following, you know, we've been seeing these days where, again, renewed storm chances with very oppressive dew points. Also, that accompanied some heat index values across the Illinois parts of Illinois. We've been seeing heat index values well in the 110s, the 120s feel like temperature. That
For here,
it's
it's been
probably
up
been
to 112 sometimes.
yeah. But again, I'm going to kind of point out. Um, I'm going to point out here that generally in this kind of environment where it's very oppressive at the surface, you get that surface heating and that right convergence from again we got this short wave and that mid jet kind of around that's helping these storms
I think that'd be good.
popping rather
Here,
quick.
take the spoon with you.
So I would by the sound of this again this heading into tomorrow, the added wind probabilities likely will reflect that we'll see a stronger gradient in temperatures at the low levels and some
Mm-hmm.
stronger low level flow that will help. It will help these storms kind of organize and grow upscale. And generally, what tends to happen is um, you get some stronger, you get some strong downburst gusts following that for some time,
Mm-hmm.
and generally in an environment like what we've been seeing all morning. Again, we've kind of had a boundary stall over sections of central Illinois into northeast Illinois, Indiana for some time, and behind that we've seen some strong winds. Um, and again, that's kind of also helping. Again, now it's completely sunny where I'm at, and
It's sunny here too when I'm
I
at, Isaac.
check my weather station. Um, and again, this is kind of again the dew points and the temperatures are much has increased by 10 degrees since like maybe 1 or 2 hours ago. And
Mm-hmm.
the indication is further up north. Or hold on, let me clarify with the humidity. Try and get an accurate depiction here. The dew point. Right now, humidity 65. Humidity in the 70s and 80s. That's
Yeah.
generally not a good situation.
No, it's
Again,
not.
like
Here's another thing, Isaac. I was
I
going to
would
tell you, too.
associate.
Some of these people not going to have time to act for these warnings because they want to move so quickly, right?
Yeah, again, these.
You still there, Isaac?
Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to share this plot. Try and share that to the live video feed. Okay. So we have the radar loop up. So I'm gonna kind of give you, so you can see we have. Okay. I'm going to point out once again to viewers of our Facebook feed that there's that corridor over southwest Wisconsin immediately ahead of those storms. Again, surface dew points have increased well into the 80s with widespread low 90s in terms of the actual air temperatures. And generally, what I'm seeing there is a lot of turning with height um, and very strong heating of the mixed layer. Again, really helping to force all these storms upscale. Again, that I've been following that cell again. I'm going to kind of get a new Lisbon area. The good news is from earlier, the rotation has somewhat broadened out. From my perspective, I would assume, yeah, that's from the lacrosse radar perspective. It is still rotation by all means, and somewhat a little bit less pronounced on the inflow signature, but again, there's still some very strong rotation, and has been the case with this storm for over an hour. And I'm gonna say this might be a precursor to some of the activity we see later on over the course of the day. And we have some developing convection further southwest, and again, this will be over eastern sections of Iowa, or rather the far northeastern part of Iowa is where it's more evident at this point. When I'm looking at the KARX, the lacrosse radar, I'm seeing that I'm going to see the tail end of that outflow boundary. This would be east. This would take just east of the Waterloo area. So again, we again we may get some cells popping up in further southwest towards maybe the Dubuque, Platteville vicinity, Prairie du Chien vicinity. There is a potty that again we'll get a pop-up storm as far southwest of there. Again, we're getting some low-level convection kind of starting to billow up in those regions. But again, the corridor where the air temperatures are at their that corridor of much higher dew points and much higher wind shear, the deep layer shear that's really helping to contributing to all this upscale growth would be in place over most of southwest and south central Wisconsin. I think this is going to be an area that will probably need monitored over the course of the coming hours. And again, we're tracking that corridor from about Green Bay to Madison to La Crosse. That is going to be something that we'll have to pay close attention to. This whole complex of storms, some strong outflow with. Looks like we got a little bit of a gust front that might be also trying to form out of this. So what that generally indicates there, it may mix in with that'll mix in with some of the stronger inflow and couple in with that could enhance that could help enhance some of that low level shear as well. We'll see what it does. Okay. Are you muted, JD?
Yeah, that's better. Sorry about that. Alright, now I'll tell you what I said. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning now.
Do check your audio input. We cannot hear you.
How can you check the... Can you hear me now? Let me come back on for a second.
I want to kind of clarify what area they're monitoring there. Looks like another warning just popped up.
Can you hear me?
This would be.
Can you hear me or not?
Trying to get a better view of that map.
Can you hear me,
Wautoma
Isaac?
County just got severe warning.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
And again, I'm not really surprised. I am not surprised. I unfortunately have no way to screen share. I have no surprise that.
Can you hear me? Is that better? Isaac, can you hear me? Alright. Looks like his sound's gone again. Can you hear me, Isaac? Alright, we still got that tornado warning in process. The shield's still there. Looks like a damaging tornado still. Weather Service did confirm a tornado with this just west of Joneston County, so that's still deserved. And we just have another tornado warning in process here, so I'm gonna. Alright, this sail looks like it. Alright, this sail looks like it could still produce a tornado. This sail. Isaac will be back in a minute. All right, now can you hear me, Isaac?
Okay, let's try that again. Yeah,
Can you hear
I
me?
just heard you. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
we got a new tornado warning right now.
Yeah,
A couple
they've continued
different.
that one. It looks to be Clifton. Oh, this is actually between Stevens Point and Wausau. This is near the community of Knowlton. And we are still indicating here I'm going to get a better radar perspective of this. Yes, some tight rotation associated with it. I'm messing. Yeah, yeah, outbound near 60 miles per hour with that. Um, maybe close to 70. Still 70 to 80 mile per hour estimates there on the velocity of gate to gate steer. Um, and that and this is likely an area of concern where again you may get a little spin up with that, but again this will definitely have some couple in with some of that stronger inflow closer to the ground there. Um, Again, that's the most that's the dominant concern that I have with this point. Also, want to point out severe warning for sections of Door County. This would be Door and northern Kewaunee and northeast Brown County. Again, this is north of the Green Bay area, affecting the Sturgeon Bay, Algoma, and the Luxembourg vicinity. Um, and again, this particular area is producing some fairly strong outflow gusts and approaching 60-ish or so miles
Wow, that's a lot.
per hour. Yeah, there's still some broad rotation with that. Going to be approaching Kelowna and West. It looks like that initial tornado warning in the New Lisbon area is going to be expiring in about 15 minutes.
That's good. So yeah, looking at the storm, Isaac, the still storm is hazardous quarter-size hail and tornado.
Once again, some of the from earlier. Yep. So, also talking about this line here, in of Ohio, it's extensive wind damage, and the low storm reports. Again, we're getting extensive reports of wind damage with this across sections of northern Indiana and South Michigan and northwest Ohio, and the same line that tracked through the Chicagoland area earlier, and yeah, damage reports. Trying to make surface gusts over a larger span with that. I am indicating the velocity of substantially decreased compared to earlier, but we're still talking potentially some gusts approaching severe thresholds. Yeah, now that area of the storms has become flow gains because storms tend to weaken. They tend to gust out. The strong, they mix in with the strong low level flow, and they tend to gust out. And a lot of those strong winds reach the surface before the storms themselves actually track over some of these areas. And again, when storms become outflow dominant, generally tends to mean that the activity is not growing upscale or it's not mature by any means at this point. But there is still indication there from earlier. Again, some of those stronger winds from aloft associated with those storms, that strong low-level jet that's been associated with all this for some time.
That's the key.
Yeah, it really helps these storms organize and come together. And our estimates here kind of pinpoint these storms have produced a wide span. Again, the gusts have been occasionally in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour, with maybe some isolated downburst gusts that could have been a little bit higher than that, having been the case from earlier. And it's
and we've been having some flooding too now. Like just got reports of
from earlier. Okay. All right. Trying to catch some of the other spotter reports from the NWS Chicago, some of the other areas in Wisconsin at this point. All right. Yeah, once again, I'm going to point out these surface observations. Try and refresh this.
Ian said there could be more tornadoes later on today.
Yeah, of course. Again, the tornado threat has not ended overall. Again, we're still interacting with that primed environment. I'm going to get a better RA.
Yeah, I've been showing a storm. We're starting to get another storm trying to fire up right over here, Isaac, with that red next to little green spot and that red marker. I'm starting to get a little more of a. It's starting to rotate a little bit.
Yeah. They did add. Are you aware they added a hatch area on the hail with the latest SPC outlook?
Well, let me check my cell phone and give you correct on that because I don't want to put any false information. Well, I don't want to put any false information out.
The day one outlook, day one convective outlook. Yeah, so a lot of these storms are moving into an environment, like I said, with that couple in with that strong mid-level flow. Again,
they have the hail and hatch, but they just updated but I can't see what they updated yet. It has to take time to calculate and all that.
So they have the hatched area pretty much in the same area as earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They actually expanded the 30% or the enhanced risk. So this pretty much is like the entirety of Lower Michigan, pretty much almost in this region. So what we're generally expecting here. So the storms initially appear to be supercellular, and that's where the 10% that's in lieu of the 10% tornado risk that they have in place. Again, we're seeing a lot of those stronger supercells. Looks like we are getting a little bit of a gust front ahead of that. That's going to be approaching the this.
But that's nothing new.
That's sort of a
Well,
ahead of the,
and I'm gonna put some things out to these people, Isaac. I want to say too. But when I was looking at the main guidance this morning about 11 o'clock or noon, the tornado risk is supposed to spike at about, well, maybe about 3 o'clock. It was the pink. We're starting to get some significant tornado parameters, and I still won't roll out severe weather tomorrow morning once again, because her and the NAM were just showing it.
Yeah, and once again, what I was trying to point out earlier, what I think is starting to happen when you're looking at a cold view of these cells, and again that would be to the Westfield area, the Westfield and Coloma area. So unconfirmed report of a tornado about 15 minutes ago in Adams County and the Grand Marsh area, by the way. Still in predominantly rural areas. The rotation's still very broad, so may produce soon. So if that tornado warning expires or gets dropped, the severe thunderstorm warning still contains the possibility of a tornado.
Yeah, any of these storms could get us, could spin up a tornado today. I mean, today's environment, it could. And I'm waiting on the SPC. And once it comes out right, I will share it to my screen and see what we got, anything new. I don't think they'll go with moderate, do you, Isaac?
I don't think so. Again, what I'm starting to see with again, I would expect, we're starting to get some outflow from these storms, kind of gusting out. This is where
Isaac, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we got a new severe thunderstorm warning now. Just got put out.
Yeah, we'll talk about the warning. What I'm seeing with these storms here, again, I do expect them to merge into more of a, again, they may become a little bit more linear as they approach Lake Michigan later on in the course of the afternoon. I think a substantial wind threat will preclude that, and much of Lower Michigan will be impacted by a line of storms, and they are still indicating initially some isolated significant gusts, but pretty much anywhere within the lower peninsula of the Lower Michigan, the peninsula between Lake Michigan and Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, within there, anywhere within there, pretty much has a risk of seeing some fairly strong outflow winds associated with it.
That's right. Yeah, and while we're sitting here, we have a new advisory just came across. This is a severe thunderstorm warning to 4 o'clock. It's in Vernon County and central Wisconsin, north central Richland County, and southwestern Wisconsin to 4 o'clock. At 3:06, a severe thunderstorm located over Virgin, moving east at 35 miles an hour. So hazardous ping pong ball size hail with this one. So this is mainly a hail threat with this one, Isaac. So ping pong is enough to injure animals and pets and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, generally the call to action with that. Yeah, we are seeing some stronger updrafts. Again, they did add that hatched area for hail. So what we may see is embedded storms containing the higher possibility of seeing maybe golf balls, maybe some in excess of 2 inches in diameter, maybe a bit larger with some of those stronger updrafts.
But the tornado watch said 3-inch hail, isolated 3-inch in diameter. That's what it said.
Yeah, that was the
All right, the tornado percentage is still 10%, so it's not hatched.
yeah.
But the hail threat is still there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, tomorrow's going to be a slight risk day, and it covers mostly St. Louis. So we could be dealing with St. Louis tomorrow, maybe parts of Springfield, and as you get to Illinois, like Jefferson County and all them, you could be dealing with a slight risk, but a low-end threat, right?